Hello and welcome to my very new channel. This one got me because I just went on YouTube and thought let's have a look, see if there's any points that I need to check before I remove the brake pads and replace them. This is a Honda Fury 2012. I believe they're all the same. Just need to sort of see how things worked. I had a look at online, couldn't find any videos, so I decided I'll make one anyway. I've loosened everything to make it so that I know what I'm talking about as I go. The screws you need to replace, to take out. One is this cap here, which needs a screwdriver, flat screwdriver. You can take Phillips as well. This 14 millimeter bolt and the 12 mil socket, 14 socket, and I've got a copper grease to put on the back of the pads, and my new pads which I need to replace. So without further ado, I'll have a go and show you how things are done. As I said, I've loosened a lot of things, so it's easier for me to show without too much delay. So the ones I want to remove, this one, this bolt here, which holds the caliper, the screwdriver for this cap down here could be tight, so do press it and take it out. Keep things in a clean area so that you're not mixing dust. So that one is out as well. Then these two, which retain the caliper onto the fork rather. It's easier to remove it that way. Although the pads do drop off, it's better to take it out, and it's quicker to put the pads in the right places. So take these two out. As you can see, it all falls off. This plate here is to hold the pads and keep a pressure on them. The Allen key inside as well, should have removed it just before. I had loosened it, so it's not going to be a big deal, just taking that out. This holds the pads in place. And then check, you see, if you've got these plates on the back of the pads, it's always good to put them on. So I've got this one and this one together. Not sure what there's two, but I will replace two. Still, I'm going to put some copper grease on the back of this one to stop any squeaking happening, and copper grease on the back of the new pad. So put that there. Make sure you don't get any on the actual pad itself. Clip that on. Okay, the plate I was showing you, I'm going to take this off for the demonstration. The plate I was showing you goes this way and it clips on here where there is no notch on it. The other way it doesn't fit. Okay, doesn't fit that way. So it's better just works this way, goes in, and then what you do is you put your pads in. We'll put this one on first. I've pushed the pistons back, by the way, by putting the two pads together and using a screwdriver like that to push them back. So that's not a difficult thing. Use obviously the old pads, which you can hold them like this, doesn't matter how they sit. You put them on, you put the screwdriver and twist it, and it sends both the pistons back. So you've got space for the new pads as well as the space for the disc to go in between them. So here's my first pad. The other one with the plate on it goes on top. Then I'll put the retainer screw, which was the Allen key, 5mm Allen key. Need to press it a bit because that spring there that I put in holds the pads in place, not to make any banging noises every time you brake. So screw this in. Just to tell you a little bit about my background, I was a mechanic before, and then I got fed up with cars and got into photography. I'm not tightened this yet because I want to use it. Did photography for 27 years, and I'm still doing photography, but my hobby became motorbikes suddenly. Fell in love with them and got back on. I used to have a motocross back home in Iran, and I'm just going to push the pads further back if they go. Yeah. So these pads are sitting on notches on top as well, just to make sure they don't move around. So yeah, I got tired of cars, carried on, became a photographer. Been a photographer for 27 years, and I've got interest in motorbikes now and enjoy biking. So I'm putting this back so the pads and things don't move. Then you've got the put this in between, put the disc in between the pads. Bring it to the right place. I'm only just putting them on and then screwing them on. This is my first video, as I said, so I can hear you guys laughing at me, but don't worry, I'm not worried. You can have fun. I like having fun with people. So and now when I went to buy a motorbike and I looked, nothing really, I've always wanted a chopper, so nothing really caught my eyes. I've been looking at all the sort of custom choppers and things like that, which I thought I still do love and would want one if I can ever afford one. But I wanted something extremely reliable. And when I saw Honda's Honda Fury, absolutely fell in love with it. And since I've had it, I've managed to get hold of, because the guy I bought it from is a 2012. The guys I bought it from in 2014 had all the spare bits he'd taken off, so I went and chased him and got all of that from him as well. Just in between, I'm letting you know, so I've tightened these two nice and tight. And then so I've ended up with a Cobra exhaust straight one, which was on it, and one of those pointy air filters. But then I managed to get all the originals from him as well. And then because I wanted to fiddle about with things, I bought another rear fender or rear mudguard from States for about £40, which wasn't much, and also another exhaust for only about £100. So altogether I've got a lot of spares. Recently I've just changed the front forks. I've added the 3-inch extensions to the front forks, and also before I bought 2-inch handlebar raisers. I'm on the Fury websites and things, Honda Fury groups, so you might see me out there. being a photographer, not only I like photographing, I like being photographed too. In my other life, I would have been an actor, as my father was in Iran. So make sure things are nice and tight. Hope this is showing you everything. Once as I've finished now, just gonna check one more time, just because sometimes things settle a bit. If you can just squeeze it tight, touch more, then you know it's nice and tight on its bits. Nothing is gonna happen. I'm going to put that tiny screw back on as well. Yeah, I did put it in the right place. It's a tiny cap which comes off again with the screwdriver and goes in with the screwdriver. Again, make sure it's nice and tight so it doesn't fall off. It's just really to stop that pin coming out. So that's nice and tight. Once I've done that, I'm going to be squeezing the front brakes a few times, moving the bike backwards and forwards to make sure it's gripping and nothing is moving out of place, and testing it before I even drive it and ride it. And when I ride it, I'm going to be really cautious first bits, because the pads need to bed in, and also I want to make sure I've done everything correctly. From what I can see, I have, so should be fine. I'm not too worried, but I'm still going to check things out before I'll go for a ride. Thank you for watching, guys. Obviously, ask any questions you like at the bottom. I'll see if there's anything else I do, I'll put it on. I'm going to do the rear brakes as well.